My parents do this. My mom likes to sleep with the TV on. My dad snores and steals sheets. My mother claims sleeping separately saved their marriage.
My stepmother's parents took this to a new level. He built a second house next door. They lived next to each other for 20 years before they both passed in a short amount of time. It seemed very odd to me, but it worked for them, at least from an outside perspective. I know images never reflect reality.
Spouse snores, 2 60-pound dogs, and a queen-size bed. No room for me, and I need dead silence.
My parents slept in separate beds, as did my great-grandparents. For my great-grandparents, it was a comfort thing. Grandma didn't like not being able to move around the bed at will. She and Grandpa loved each other dearly, and she passed not long after he did because she missed him so much. For my parents, it was a couple things. As my dad aged, his sleep cycle went weird. He would be able to sleep a couple hours and then be up half the night and fall asleep again about the time my mum was getting up for work. Also, my mum has sleep apnea and uses a CPAP. It made hella noise back then. Dad was half deaf and the sound still bothered him. Out of respect for each other, they decided it was better to have separate bedrooms. This makes me feel better about my husband and I not sharing a bed. Some people act like that means your marriage is falling apart. Honestly, it helps us love each other more because I'm not up multiple times a night with his tossing and turning and he's not up all night listening to my snoring.
I feel defensive of it, too. My husband gets up earlier and he hits snooze like 5 times. I am a very light sleeper and it drives me nuts, so we sleep in separate rooms.
My wife has MS. One of the primary issues she has is vertigo. When I'm in the bed with her, the motion of my breathing/heartbeat/movement really fucks with her vertigo while she sleeps. Also, I snore, so an isolated coil mattress wouldn't quite do it. They aren't total isolation, either. You feel movement, or 2 beds in one room. Also, honestly, it spices up the sex life. Adds an element of pursuit and some illicit atmosphere to it. We're sneaking around the house to each other's beds to bang.
Sometimes I have to sleep on the couch because I get hypersensitive to sound, especially human sound, and don't like the noise his whole existence makes. He gets it luckily.
Sometimes my girlfriend and sleep in different rooms, and the reasons often differ. Did eat a big bean burrito earlier? Separate rooms? Just an example. Also, unless your bed is massive, sleeping with someone next to you can make it more difficult to sleep. Yes, sleeping together is romantic, but getting good sleep is more romantic.
Friends of mine do this. She doesn't like him and feels he's a terrible husband and father. He won't divorce her because it'll cost him his standing in the church, which is the only level of social prestige he has. He's verbally abusive, and initially she did it as a wake-up call to encourage him to nicen up. It's going on its 4th year.
So why can't she just divorce him?
Not separate rooms, but a king bed and separate blankets. We sleep way better. I am a notorious blanket hog and he's always hot when he sleeps. Then we can be close when we want to and separate when we need a good sleep.